Is it fair to say that actually to be on target, you need to be net winning over 1,000 seats?
Well, we need to take every seat we possibly can.
I know, but I'm asking you the number.
I want to put this in the context because, there's lots of comparisons to, elections in the past, and I get that. But the election we're fighting is coming off the back of the 2019 general election, which was the worst result for 35 years. And many people said to me when I became leader of the Labour Party, which was just under 3 years ago, good luck here, but you'll never do it in 5 years. And here we are, a year before election, and you're challenging me as to whether we're on course for a Labour victory. Quite right too. I'm not going to go into the numbers of seats. We want to take every seat that we can.
You seem to be doing everything out of a Blair Playbook, talking tough on crime, purging the left. But your party is lacking something that Tony Blair had, a sense of excitement. Do you understand that people don't feel that enthusiastic about you at the moment, and that could be a problem?
Well, let's deal with the Playbook issue, because tough on crime isn't new to me. I've been dealing with crime for many, many years. I've spent 5 years as the chief prosecutor in England and Wales, prosecuting criminals every day of my life. So this is not new. And the reason I did that then, and the reason we're being so strong on this now, is I know what effect it has on lives. And wherever you go, whether it's Swindon or anywhere else, and ask people, how do you feel at the moment? Most people say, for the last 13 years, I haven't seen my wages go up, living standards haven't gone up, our schools and our hospitals haven't improved, and I want change. But what I most want to know is how I can pay my bills. What are you going to do about the longer term issues? The NHS is on its knees. So, I think we're in one of those moments in history where people want reassurance that you get it, you understand what they're going through, and you've actually got the concrete answers to the challenges of the future.
I mean, I did a focus group in High Wycombe a couple of weeks ago, and I went up to Pendle this week actually to talk to voters. They do talk about change, but I have to say, they also say they're not sure about you. So they want change, but they're not sure that they like the cut of your jib, if you like.
That is why the local elections are so fantastic, because we can be out across the country, here in Swindon today, across the whole of the country for the next few weeks, talking to people, having those conversations. And as soon as we get the chance to do that, and as soon as people hear what we're offering, the positive case we're making, like today, for example, saying we're going to freeze council tax next year using the windfall tax that hasn't been collected by the government, people say, that would really help me. I like that. So I think there is a sense that we need change. We desperately need change in this country.
And so, Keir, on council tax, you say you'd freeze council tax this year if you were in power. Will you make the same commitment that you would freeze it if you were in government in 2025?
Well, 2025 is 2 years away, and if you think back 2 years, we wouldn't have known precisely the position we'll be in. But it's not hypothetical, because the money that we're suggesting could be used for it, the windfall tax, that's £10 billion. It's on the table. The government could do this tomorrow. We would vote for it. We could do this.
I do need to ask you before I let you go about another Labour leader, because last week Labour's governing body approved your motion to block Jeremy Corbyn from standing as a Labour candidate. He described it as a shameful attack on democracy. I don't want to ask you, did you feel bad about it? Because back in April 2020, you described Jeremy Corbyn as your friend, and now you've kicked him out. Do you feel bad?
There's one person who is responsible for the fact that Jeremy Corbyn will not be a Labour candidate at the next election, and that's Jeremy Corbyn. And the first words I said as Labour leader was that I would root out anti-Semitism in my party. And I've been absolutely ruthless in that. There's always more work to do, but I set out to change the Labour Party and to change it in relation to anti-Semitism. And I said I'd root it out, and I am delivering on that pledge.
One final thing. People will remember, though, you standing shoulder to shoulder with Jeremy Corbyn saying he should be Prime Minister, and now they see you stabbing him in the front. Some people will think that. Do you worry that voters might think that either you're not to be trusted, or they might conclude that with friends like Keir, who needs enemies?
Well, we went into that 2019 election, and the electorate gave their verdict on the Labour Party as it then was. I took the view that you don't look at the electorate and say, what on earth were you doing? You look at your own party and say, we need to change. And that's why I've been so clear about changing the Labour Party. Whether it's rooting out anti-Semitism, being absolutely clear we're pro-business, pro-NATO, and facing the voters and being fit to serve the country. Make no apologies for that, because what I want is a Labour government, and only with a Labour Party that's facing the voters, that is answering the difficult challenges of the future, do we get the right to be heard and to earn those votes that we need to get a Labour government.
You're prepared to be ruthless to win?
I'm prepared to be ruthless to ensure that we have a Labour government. I have been ruthless in the change in the Labour Party. I do not apologise for that, because what matters most to me is that the change that millions of people desperately need across our country comes about. That will only come about if I ensure that we've got a Labour Party that is fit to face the future, fit to face the voters, and has the answers to the difficult challenges that face the whole country.